After the original Sonic the Hedgehog hit, Sega apparently wanted to overdrive, working on 3 different Sonic sequels at the same time. The first one out the door was Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Game Gear and Master System, which beat its Genesis big brother market by a few weeks. Because of that, it marks the first appearance of Tails, as a dumbass in distress. Not exactly the high point of his career. Of course, the question is whether Sonic 2 is actually worth a look. And that really depends on your tolerance for pain. Sure, while there is some fun to be had in this cute little game, believe me, it is a mean mistress. Let's take a detailed look at this one. First up, you start the game in the Underground Zone, which is notable as one of the few times in the entire franchise you don't start the game in some kind of picturesque tropical forest. The brown and red caves aren't exactly the most exciting things you'll ever witness, but there is the addition of the game's gimmick, various vehicles. Here you ride minecarts. There are some changes from the previous 8-bit titles. The bonus stages are outright gone, but you can now recollect scattered rings after you take a hit. Also, you get a continue for each Chaos Emerald you recover, which are still hidden in each of the zones and are even more elusive than the first title. Back to the Underground Zone, it's pretty standard stuff right up until the boss, where you have to avoid falling bouncing balls on an incline. It's extremely difficult for a first boss and the bane of many childhoods. The trick is to move the least you can to avoid the balls, and try to dodge them by going up the ramp. Move too much and you'll either get nailed in the face by the balls, or fall into the pinchers at the bottom. Zone 2 is known as the Sky High Zone, and here you get to ride hang gliders. It's pretty fun, until you get to Act 2. Ideally, you'd want to hang glide through the entire stage, but sometimes the game just doesn't let you. It's odd to say the least. Just stay as high as you can and you'll be fine. The boss can be a pain if you rush. I know you're Sonic and you want to go fast, but take your time taking out the minions before the bird head bot appears. It has a pretty easy pattern, so you shouldn't have much trouble if you're methodical. Next up is the Aqua Lake, and it's not the easiest thing to get through. The first act is cake as long as you stay on the top route, which is easy once you figure out that Sonic can skip across the water like a stone if you press down to roll right before you hit the water's surface with some momentum. Act 2 is all underwater and is generally a pain in the ass. The sections where you have to ride upwards in a giant bubble are especially aggravating. You aren't likely to straight up die, as there are plenty of rings in the area, but you're gonna take a crap ton of tries to make it up. Fortunately, the boss is super easy. Just hit the seal bot when it's blowing up balls and don't die. The Green Hill Zone is almost like a bonus level with tons of rings and lives everywhere. You're probably not going to die here, but you will take hits, especially in Act 2, where I swear to God some sections are just unavoidable to take damage in. If you're low on lives, consider dying intentionally in Act 1 to build up your stock. Yeah, it's cheap, but believe me, so is this game. I recommend at least 30 lives before you move on, no joke. Why? Act 3. What, you didn't think Sega was going soft on you for no reason, right? In this lovely stage, you have to bounce between a series of springs in order to navigate your way to the boss. This is easier said than done, as if you don't land exactly right on each spring and get just enough momentum, there's a set of spikes waiting to kill you. Oh yeah, and you can't see where you're landing due to the low resolution of the Game Gear screen. Hope you like dying. The boss itself isn't too hard, but you're going to need a couple tries to get the pattern down, and that means back to your spiky death again. This level is straight up diabolical, and you'll probably see the game over screen more than a few times here. If you make it through that wide awake nightmare, you'll find yourself at Gimmick Mountain, and the gimmick is apparently cheap hits as you'll keep getting it up the ass all the time here. Once you manage to grind your way through the first 2 acts, you'll encounter the joys of Act 3. While not as flat out unfair as Green Hill, you're still gonna die a lot here. You see, the stage is custom designed to kill you in unexpected ways, so you just have to play the hell out of it until you get the pattern down. The The boss isn't too bad, but again, you're gonna have to go through the gauntlet every time you lose, so have fun. But none of that even holds a candle to the Scrambled Egg Zone. Much like Act 3 of Gimmick Mountain, this zone is all about memorizing the correct path. Screw up and welcome to die. Act 2 is absolutely fucking evil and will just devour your lives. If you somehow survive that, Act 3 really isn't all that bad, although they will kill you at least once. Check out this newbie trap. The boss is pretty much a joke compared to all the shit that you've already been through. Hell, you can even deflect a Mecha Sonic spin attack with your own. If you take that guy down, and you somehow collected the 6 Chaos Emeralds, there's one more boss fight in the Crystal Egg Zone, but I'm not masochistic enough to hunt down the Chaos Emeralds. Sorry. The graphics are a small step above the first title, although they aren't going to blow you away. Despite how cheap many of the level designs are, they do feel more Sonic-y with loops and ramps, although nowhere near the level of the 16-bit titles. The music is a slight step down with only a single memorable track, and that's only because it includes a PSG rendition of the Japanese Sonic CD theme. While not a terrible game, Sonic 2 on the Game Gear is a game that just required a lot more playtesting. The difficulty is insane for the blurry Game Gear screen. On the plus side, the Master System version is quite a bit easier. On the minus side, it was only released in Europe and Brazil, so that didn't really help me. Anyway, thanks for watching, and remember, consoles may come and go, but a classic is always a classic.